Do you know how our body fights against an infection? Do you know what our immune system does when a foreign body attacks our body? This is where antibodies play an important role. If a person tries to attack you, what will your response? You will obviously try to protect yourself from the possibility of the harm likely to be occurred. Antibodies in our system will act as a defense mechanism to protect the human body from the harmful effects of the pathogens. Pathogens, otherwise called as infectious agents, or microorganisms that cause disease in its host. Antibodies will be produced in the body once the host immune system recognizes the antigens. There are different types of antibodies in our body. Each antibody has its specific function. The immune system is made up of special cells, organs, proteins and tissues. The primary function of the immune system is to fight the germs and microorganisms every day and at all time. The immune system keeps everyone healthy in most cases, but in certain cases trouble with the immune system can lead to infection and illness. Once the human body recognizes an antigen attacking the system, antibodies are produced and continue to exist in the person's body. If the same antigen attacks the system again, the antibody present already in the body will take care of it. This is the basic principle for immunizations. Antibodies can identify an antigen and lock onto it. The T cells, also called as killer cells, destroys the antigens. These T cells are tagged by the antibodies. Antibodies also have the ability to neutralize the toxic substances. So, you need not worry if you are about to catch cold, fever or any other diseases. Our immune system will take care of it. Every human being has antibodies in their system. These molecules are necessary to life and play a very important role in the human immune system. Each and every person has roughly 1 to 2 billion different antibodies endlessly flowing all around the bloodstream to fight against infectious and diseases in their human host. Antibodies are small proteins present in our body which fights against the pathogens. They circulate in the bloodstream. An antibody is also known as immunoglobulin, which is a glycoprotein produced by B cells. B cells are white blood cells, also known as lymphocytes or plasma cells. An antibody recognizes the foreign bodies attacking the system. The antibody's function is to bind to the foreign body and suppress their activity. The foreign bodies are known as antigens. Chemicals, pollens, viruses, bacteria are some of the examples of antigens. The main function of the humoral immune system is to produce the antibodies. Humoral immunity is also called as the antibody mediated system. A specific antibody binds to its specific antigen. For example, if a person is suffering from fever, his or her body produces the antibody that defends the fever pathogens by binding to the antigen. Imagine a lock and key. Each antibody is different and unique. Though the general structure is similar, the tips of the proteins contain different amino acid sequences and vary from the other antibodies. The antibodies can be divided into 5 different classes based on different kinds of amino acid sequences of the heavy chains in the constant region. There are IgG, the variation is there in gamma heavy chain. Likewise, IgM, it is found in Mu heavy chains, IgA in alpha heavy chain, IgD in delta heavy chains, and IgE epsilon heavy chains. Based on the type of light chain present, an antibody can be classified into 2 types. Light chain types are based on different kinds of amino acid sequences of the light chains in the constant region. The light chain types are kappa light chains and lambda light chains. The antibodies can be further divided into 5 different subclasses based on little differences of amino acid sequences of the heavy chains in the constant region. The subclasses of IgG are IgG1 gamma 1 heavy chain, IgG2 gamma 2 heavy chains, IgG3 gamma 3 heavy chains, and IgG4 gamma 4 heavy chains. The subclasses of IgA are IgA1 in the alpha 1 heavy chain, IgA2, IgA2 alpha 2 heavy chains. Light chain types can be classified into subtypes. These subtypes are based on different kinds of amino acid sequences of the light chains in the constant region. They are the lambda subtypes are lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 and lambda 4. There are 2 separable functions of an antibody molecule itself. First, antibodies have the ability to recognize and attach themselves to pathogens that cause disease. Second, antibodies function as markers by sending signals to the other parts of the immune system to defend and eradicate the disease associated substances by recognizing and attaching themselves to the pathogenic molecules. The functions of the antibodies are explained by its chemical structure. The 3 main functions are binding versatility, binding specificity and biological activity. Antibody bind is distinct from each other. Each antibody binds actually to a particular antigenic determinant. An antibody's valency refers to an individual antibody molecule binding to the number of antigenic determinants. The valency of all the antibodies is at least 2 or can be more in some cases. There is no direct biological effect when an antibody binds to an antigen. On the other hand or contrary, the substantial biological effects are an effect of secondary effector functions of antibodies. The antibodies mediate a mixture of these effectors functions. Generally, to accomplish a particular effector function, the binding of antibody and an antigen is required. Not all antibodies will mediate all the effectors functions. Such effector functions are fixation of complement and binding to various cell types. Fixation of complement results in disintegration of cells and discharge of biologically active molecules. All cells have receptors that bind to antibodies. To perform some function, this binding can activate the cells. Antibodies weigh approximately 150 kilodalton and are thus called as heavy globular plasma proteins. Although different antibodies can differ structurally, they are made with same basic units. An antibody is a Y-shaped molecule consisting of 4 polypeptides, namely 2 heavy chains and 2 light chains. The 2 identical light chains weigh 23 kilodaltons and 2 identical heavy chains weigh 50 to 70 kilodalton. Disulfide bonds connect the 2 identical heavy chains and the 2 identical light chains. Disulfide bonds are of 2 types. They are inter-chain disulfide bonds and intra-chain disulfide bonds. By using non-covalent exchanges, the interchain disulfide bonds hold up the 2 heavy chains and heavy and light chains together. The number of interchain disulfide bonds differs among various antibodies. Intrachain disulfide bonds are also present within each of the polypeptide chains. Antigens bind to the tips of the Y region. A paratope is present on each tip of the Y regions. Each paratope is specific to one particular epitope of an antigen. Natural binding occurs between a paratope and epitope. The 2 regions present in the antibodies are variable region and constant region. Among different antibodies, the amino acid sequences present in the tips of the Y regions varies. 110 to 130 amino acids are present in the variable region. These amino acids give the particularity for binding antigen. There is also another region called hinge region where the arms of the immunoglobulin forms a Y. There is some flexibility at this area in the molecule. The 3-dimensional images shows that the antibody molecule is not straight. Instead, it is folded into globular regions which contain an intra-chain disulfide bond in each region, and these regions are called domains. 2 types of domains are present, namely the light chain domain and heavy chain domains. The ends of the heavy chains and the light chains also come under the variable regions. Fv region is the other name of the variable domain. This is the most important region for antigen binding. The variable regions can be subdivided into hypervariable or HV and framework variable or FR regions. Hypervariable regions are also referred to as complementary determining regions or CDRs, since they directly contact the antigen's surface at some portions. Antibodies have different complementarily determining regions for different specificities. Antibodies have identical complementarily defining regions for identical specificities. In both H and L chains, the complementarily defining regions can be found. The framework regions can be found between the complementarily defining regions in the variable regions. A beta sheet structure is formed by the FR regions, which act as a support to hold the HV regions in position to contact the antigen. Since the tips of the hypervariable regions contain different amino acids, they can bind to a different antigen. The mechanism to destroy the antigen is determined by the constant region. Based on the constant region's structure and the immune function, the antibodies are divided into 5 major classes, namely the IgM, IgA, IgD, IgG and IgE. Let us move forward to study each of the antibodies and their description now. IgG. The main antibody in the blood is IgG. To the tune of 70 to 75% is present. Through the placenta, the only isotope that can pass is IgG. The IgG isotope protects a newborn child until 1 week after birth. This isotope is passed to the child from its mother. It is distributed to a great extent in the blood, tissues, cells, etc. Among all the other Ig classes, IgG has the longest half-life. IgG is very good at toxin neutralization. IgG can also block the viruses that has the ability to split the cells. IgA, two antibodies make up IgA antibody. It is present to the tune of 10 to 15% in the blood. IgA is distributed to nasal discharge, serum, breast milk, saliva and bowel fluid. Breast milk protects the newborn child from bacteria and viruses. This is called maternal immunity. Breast milk defends the gastrointestinal tract of the child. IgA has the ability to neutralize viruses. The next one is IgM. 5 antibodies make up IgM antibody and it is present 10%. It gets distributed and circulates in the blood. IgM has a major role in initiating the immune system of the human body. This antibody will not cross the placenta. IgE, it is thought to be connected to immunity reactions caused by parasites. IgE has become as a key factor of allergies. For example, pollinosis, this antibody triggers allergy. IgD can be found on the B cell's surface. IgD plays a major role in the initiating the production of the antibody. Let us now see how the production of antibodies takes place and their advantages and disadvantages now. The production of monoclonal antibody was major breakthrough in research applications. The monoclonal antibody is produced by removing the B cells from an animal's spleen that has been tested with an antigen. The B cells are consequently fused with an immortal myeloma tumor cell line which results in a single cell hybrid called a hybridoma. Monoclonal antibodies detect only one epitope on an antigen. Only one antibody subtype will be present in a monoclonal antibody, where for detection a secondary antibody is required. Coming to the production of monoclonal antibody, high technology is required for monoclonal antibody production. For the technology used, training is required. For hybridomas, time scale is very long. The advantages of monoclonal antibodies are the monoclonal antibodies will identify only one single epitope on a single antigen, which has the following advantages. As monoclonal antibody detect only one target epitope specifically, cross reaction with other proteins is not very likely. Due to specificity in an assay, the monoclonal antibodies are very good as the primary antibody. Within a variety of related molecules, the specificity of monoclonal antibodies binding to the antigen is extremely efficient. Coming to the disadvantages, the large amount of specific antibodies produced by the monoclonal antibodies may be too specific. Coming to polyclonal antibody. Polyclonal antibody has the ability to recognize multiple epitopes on a single antigen. Polyclonal antibodies are majorly made up of IgG subclasses. Polyclonal antibodies are often generated by peptide immunogens. For protein families of high homology, the polyclonal antibody generated by peptide immunogens is used to target unique epitopes. Coming to the production of polyclonal antibodies, the polyclonal antibodies are not very expensive to produce. The production time scale for polyclonal antibody is very short. For low polyclonal antibodies, production technology and skills are required. For probing particular domains of antigen, polyclonal antibody is not useful. This is because the polyclonal antibody will normally identify many domains. Polyclonal antibody will identify multiple epitopes on a single antigen, which has the advantages like for probing particular domains of antigen, polyclonal antibodies are not always useful because many domains will be usually recognized by antiserum. As many antibody molecules bind to multiple epitopes. Polyclonal antibodies can aid amplify signal from target protein with very less expression levels. For qualification experiments, this would be an advantage. Some examples of the changes are little denaturation, polymorphism, etc. Minor changes in the antigen can be tolerated more by the polyclonal antibodies than monoclonal antibodies. Sometimes the polyclonal antibodies can be used when an antigen's nature is unavailable or unknown. Polyclonal antibodies are always the preferable option for detecting the denatured proteins. More robust detection is generally provided by multiple epitopes. Coming to the disadvantages, batch to batch variants can regularly occur. For any cross reactivity, multiple epitopes makes it important to check the immunogen sequence. Non-specific antibodies are produced in large amounts which can give background signals sometimes in some applications. Coming to the application of antibodies, the first and foremost one is the application in Western blotting or immunoblotting. Mostly both monoclonal antibodies and polyclonal antibodies are formalized for role in Western blot. Western blot applications are used by the in-house quality control to show that the antibodies are specific and sensitive for the protein. Under reducing and non-reducing conditions, the proteins are run. Polyclonal IgG preparations and monoclonal IgG preparations are present for the use as negative controls in Western blots. Molecular weight markers are also available. The markers are available biotinylated or pre-stained blue. The next one is ELISA or enzyme linked immunoabsorbance assay. A broad array of matched antibody pairs are proposed for ELISA development. Each pair has been checked to assure compatibility in organizing a sandwich with the analyte. Stability is analyzed once opened and reconstituted. No cross reactivity within related molecules. Additional reagents for ELISA development are streptavidin, HRP and TMB substrate reagents. The next application is flow cytometry. To evaluate certain chemical and physical features of cells, flow cytometry assesses the scattering features and the light excitation of individual cells. Some of the advantages of the flow cytometry over other technologies are: flow cytometry rapidly analyze large number of cells. Several parameters on the same single cell are analyzed and quantitative data on a same single cell are collected. A vast array of antibodies coupled to different fluorochromes is available and that allow for concurrent multi-parameter analysis. These directly coupled antibodies are designed for supervising the presence of particular proteins or some other target structure on both cell surfaces and intracellularly. In the immune phenotyping of the cell populations, cell surface staining is very much needed. Cells secreting selected cytokines can be identified by the utilization of intracellular cytokine staining. From a panel of monoclonal antibodies, intracellular staining antibodies are selected. In few cases, polyclonals are selected carefully for their particular recognition of cytoplasmic forms of molecules. All directly coupled antibodies can be also used to execute quantitative flow cytometry analysis to calculate the molecules number expressed on each single cell. Some additional reagent for flow cytometry is a mixture of fluorochrome labeled isotope matched controls coupled to the same single fluorochrome or protein ratio. This mixture is available as a help in evaluating the staining of cell populations. The next one is immunohistochemistry. Antibodies are chosen according to which the best signal is given to the background ratio. A tissue is selected for a representation and a standard protocol is used to evaluate both monoclonal antibody and polyclonal antibody suitability. Due to the multiple epitope recognition capacity, the binding of antigen in the tissue is maximized by the antigen affinity purified polyclonal antibodies. The next one is immunoelectron microscopy. The elaborated microarchitecture of cells or tissues can be studied using immunoelectron microscopy. Particular proteins in ultra-thin tissue divisions can be detected using immunoelectron microscopy. Antibodies marked with heavy metal particles can be instantly envisioned using transmission electron microscopy. While observing the subcellular localization of a protein, immunoelectron microscopy can be extremely expensive and challenging. The next one is neutralization. Valuable information like protein's biological activity can be obtained by neutralizing a specific protein with antibodies. Neutralizing can also be used for evaluating the biological activity of samples comprising several bioactive proteins. To conclude the topic, in this session, we described an antibody and listed its characteristic features. We also discussed about the structure and application of antibodies. Antibodies are molecules present in our body that defend against the antigens to protect our body from diseases. Immunoglobulin and antibodies are similar. Antigens are foreign bodies. Some examples of antigens are viruses, pollens, bacteria, etc. Antigens are also called as immunogens. Antibodies are produced by B cells of our immune system. When an antigen binds to an antibody, immune system's B cells become plasma cells. In few cases, B cells interacting with a D helper cell is also necessary. Epitope is a specific region in an antigen where an antibody will bind. Antigen specific antibodies present in a serum are called as antiserum. 5 classes of immunoglobulin are present. They are IgM, IgA, IgG, IgE and IgD. Antibodies are used for many applications. Many years ago, antibodies were developed for therapeutic uses. At first, mice were used for deriving antibodies. Key lock mechanism is used for the antibodies production. An antibody does various functions such as complement activation, toxin neutralization, microorganisms immobilization, viral activity neutralization, agglutination, precipitation, namely the binding soluble antigen, etc. To make it simple, an antibody kills the invader directly or the antibody recruits cell to the infection. Antibodies are very specific. One needs immunization because different antibodies work on different antigens. By immunization, the human body knows which antibody to produce for the disease.